I know Arthur Gore's been having that trouble. So the launches of MMOs in the past have always been disastrous, to say the least. But not New World, oh no. What a flawless, absolutely pristine, and beautiful experience this has been. And a massive amount of concurrent players. The ping has been stable, combat has less bugs than you could shake your frozen leg at, no one was waiting on boss spawns, and shockingly enough, the game has begun to spread to all nations around the globe, inciting world peace as everyone realized how dumb it was fighting IRL, when you could just play New World instead. But hopping back into this reality, you realize that it's not that bad, but it's not that good. At least this time around, no one got banned for yanking on a cow's tits too hard. I hope. So where do we go from here? Is the game dead? Where's Scott Lane right now?
Hi there.
And why won't he answer my personal DMs? Damn it, Scott, I thought the delays you gave us were a phase, not the actual gameplay. But now that we've got the anger out, let's all just calm down a little bit and think this through rationally. First, just because other MMOs out there have always been dismal upon releases does not make what happened here okay. The bar is already as low as it can be when it comes to the launch of an MMO, and smacking your head into it doesn't make it any better. In fact, it kind of makes it worse. They had all the data in the world to know that this was coming, and they still let it happen. The queues in this game are legitimately longer than how many people can actually fit into a world. But outside of griping about the server wait times, are things any better than they were in the preview event, the closed, and the open beta?
Well, yes, but actually no.
So plenty has been changed over the years. For me personally, that was starting at the preview event, but even before that, this was an entirely different game altogether. So it's kind of a mixed bag of good and bad. The good is that the servers are way more stable, for most, and the game doesn't really have any of those cripplingly obvious bugs that it used to, and things generally work pretty well.
All of this just works.
So let's just go through the good and the bad and just list them out. The bad, excuse me while I beat this dead horse one more time, is the queues. And being kicked out of the queues after having waited hours to play and having to try rejoin again and start all over. The frame rate tanks pretty hard when there's more than one person on an enemy, or in particular more than one person beating the hell out of me. Bugs are noticeably present, although less present than in the previous versions of the game, both with interactions and with quests. And unfortunately, the chimpanzees broke out of the zoos and found the great axes, and my server is starting to look a little too much like Planet of the Apes for my liking. On the good side of things, the exploration is lovely, the grind is fantastic. PvP I've heard a lot of people bitching about, but I really don't think it's as bad as they're making it out to be, but it does still need work. Going out into the world and purging heretics with your friends is a great pastime. But honestly, all of this is ruined because none of it matters if you can't get into the world to play the game or do anything in the first place. But don't worry, Scott is coming to the rescue with some expanded server capacities, some of the bug fixes alongside that, and a chance to run away from all the people who ganked you in the old server to a new server where you can get ganked all over again. All for free. There's very few limitations on the way the server hop works, and you can jump entire regions if you want. And you're not just limited to jumping to the new servers they just released either. If you could all just go ahead and jump into those NA servers and crash them to death so that Amazon doesn't have this happen again, that would be great. Thanks. But then aside from that, is the new world fetus completely deletus? Well, I'm not entirely convinced yet. ESO went through this and so did Final Fantasy to some extent. I mean, don't get me wrong, this game does deserve a good hard shitting on so that the devs can take that feedback and start pushing changes over time. But I still see the potential this game has, even if they have run completely out of forgive me points to spend on their community. At the same time, I have to give them credit for the fact that they're focusing on foundational fixes to the game instead of just throwing more junk into it to try and obfuscate all the crap that doesn't work currently. You know, generally speaking, it's a lot better to actually work on the problem, then find another problem, and then try and fix that instead. Blizzard. But the funny thing about all of this is that from a numbers perspective alone, the game is actually a resounding success. New World has hit over 700,000 concurrent players on Steam and just under 1 million viewers on Twitch. So now, undoubtedly, the team has more resources than was entailed in any initial budget that they might have had. Now's the time that they can go ahead and convert that into a system of longevity and make a game that can, at the very least, last the decade they want it to. Because if they leave it alone, it just won't. Then last off, there's the cash shop. That's right, I've got a whole 2 dead horses to beat this time around. There's actually nothing pay to win here. For now. For now. And let's hope it stays that way. But like a boomer with a joke about his wife being bad, I'm just not going to drop this issue until at the very least we see some kind of commitment long term from Amazon not wanting to put that in their game ever. So final thoughts on the game for now. The full price of this game is about $40, and I think it has enough in it to justify that $40 price tag. But I cannot recommend anyone buy it for now if you're tight on time or money, or unless you've got the patience to play through all these problems until they go ahead and fix them. As time goes on, this game will definitely be improved upon, as it should be. I truly do believe that you will get enough value out of the game currently for what it's worth, but I'd be lying if I'd say that there won't be some frustrations along the way. I can't go ahead and just recommend this game outright. That would just be completely unfair to anyone watching this video who would go ahead, log into the game, and then sit in a 5-hour queue. And until we know for a fact that the new servers fix that issue, I will still harp on about it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I could be dead wrong about this, but that's the way I see it. I'm gonna go back to playing Queuing Simulator 2021. And just so you know, this entire video has been filmed, scripted, and edited while waiting to play the game, just to give you an idea of how long this is taking. So big thank to all my subscribers, both old and new, and a special thanks to Daddy's Little Fox. Still feels like I'm gonna get arrested for saying that name out loud. Who's objectively better at the streaming thing than me, and who dropped into my stream to discover what kind of filthy human being makes these kinds of videos. Hope your viewers weren't too disappointed. I don't really look that good in a thong or hot tub. But anyway, more content soon. Hope you enjoyed.